Well, denizens of the web and web page creators, we're going to hit on a new topic here, a topic used for navigating to various web pages based on an image. This technique is called using image maps. And so I thought we'd take a look at an example of such a thing. And the very first thing I really should do is go to the original website and show you what I grabbed from there. And I used, you can use the Snipping Tool in Windows. If we go over here and look at our Windows machine, one might check out a website, and if one wants to grab a section of it, you can use this thing called the Snipping Tool. Now you could type snipping down in this search bar here. Well, I guess we're having a little delay in moving our cursor anywhere. So if I type, no. Excuse me. So for some reason I can't type anything here, which is a bit, oh, maybe now I can. There we go. So I can type snipping here. Things are just a little slow. A little slow. And you'll see Snipping Tool up here. And what I've done, let's see, if I right click on that, I can, it says unpin to taskbar. So if you haven't pinned it to the taskbar, hopefully it'll say pin to taskbar. Well, that's what I did, and I have it right down here. So here's the Snipping Tool, and you can go into the mode, and rectangular snip is a favorite, and you click on new here, and then you can come over and you can grab a piece of the screen, okay, and now you can see that it's in here, and you can using edit, you can copy and paste it somewhere. You can, with a file, you can save it as a ping, a PNG, or a JPEG, or whatever you want. Here, there's GIF, JPEG. You can even save it as a single file HTML file if you wanted to do that. But just wanted to show you how one can grab images. Now, very often on, do you want to save this? No, I don't. Very often you can grab pictures by right-clicking and save picture as. It is customary to be careful of copyrights, because if you were to use this in your material and somebody copyrighted it, there are now these, just like there are patent trolls, there are copyright trolls that then go after people and seem to, believe it or not, extract a few $1,000s, maybe even, usually something less than 10 grand from even people like university professors, because they grab something that was copyrighted, and you try to get out of it and delete it or whatever, and say, well, it was an accident. They just they're in business to extract money from people. So do be careful of what you snip off the web or download. In my case, I am using something that we saw over here. It's a Miro Medium Con Max 1400 blah blah blah. So I'd have to find that again. But it was a page about food groups and how to eat better and everything. And maybe I can find it if I put in here something like we'll go back and look at some of the text that was on there. As it make water your drink of choice, and things like that. So I could put in here, make water your drink of choice, and maybe put it in quotes, and it'll help. Now this is Bing, so you get what you pay for. And another quote was, there was something about vegetables in one section, vegetables, and there was another one that said whole grains, so I'll put that in quotes, and maybe we'll get lucky here and get the exact website. I should have saved the link. And flavored recipes. No, I don't think this was it. Certainly not. But it was a page. Oh, that's a video. See, so it's a it looks something like that. Yeah, it's nice. Well, you can see there are many related websites, but why waste our time going back trying to find the original website? I did record it here, and I suppose we could type it in. I could go up here, and I can move this over and type it in, do the hard work. So it's medium.com/max/1400/1*31D capital H M lowercase UQU 9 capital J small g capital V small g WAO. It looks like a zero actually. A0L? Well, we'll find out. Underscore FQ8A dot ping. At least that's where the unable to process image. So let's see, did we use a 0 or an O? We try it with a 0, didn't work. If we try it with a capital O, it doesn't work, so great. Let's just see if we can get close to the thing here. Invalid command. We're having a great time. So we'll go here and just put it in there and see what we can find on here. Okay, that doesn't look quite the same. I think we've got his name, not Clark Gable. What is the name there? I don't know. And that looks like maybe Breakfast at Tiffany's star there. Anyway. Obviously I can't find it. Shows you what a denizen of the web I am. And is it important? No. Let's get back to task here. But here's an image. This is where the image, this is the address of the image. So there's an article about food, and I snapped the image from it. And the whole point here is to build a web page based on an image where we can click on things and and then go to that, go to a web page maybe specifically based on that location. You know, if you had say a map of an amusement park, you could click on various parts of it, and it would give you information about the rides or that section of the amusement park or something like that. So you can see here that I'm in Microsoft Paint. I grabbed this thing and I actually added some notes here. I added the URL is you can't click on it. It's just image, image of text. But we can see here in Microsoft Word that this image is 968 by 810 pixels. So it's 968 pixels high and 810 pixels, 968 pixels wide this way and 810 pixels high. So this is the image we want, and it has fruits and veggies, it has whole grains, it has protein-based foods, and it has water. So we'd like to use this image map, all one word, capability in HTML to divvy this image up so that you can click on different parts of it and it takes you to different web pages. So if I go down here, the first thing we have to realize is that there are coordinates for these things. So the origin 0, 0 is at the top. So when you're talking about the first number, you can go from 0 to 967. That's 968 total pixels from left to right. And the height is measured from top to bottom. So you can go from 0 to 809. That's 810 pixels total. And I put a dot in the center just to help us. The coordinate of this dot in the center is 429 pixels in from the right and 446 pixels down from the top. Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this, and we would like to divvy our image up so that if you click anywhere left of this line, you are talking about fruits and veggies. If you click anywhere in this kind of bottom right quadrant here, you're talking about the whole grain section. If you're in this sort of rectangle right here, you'll be clicking in the protein section. And then if you click in this circular area here, you'll be in the water section. So these guys, if I go back, these guys are all defined. That vertical line runs down at 429, and I think it was somewhere around 808 or something was this vertical line here. So this guy goes from 0, 0 down to 429 and 809. That's the rectangle that forms that one. This one went from 430, 430 units pixels in from the left. So 430 with a height of 0 down to 808 or something like that with a height of 446. That rectangle defines the protein section. And then this whole grain section went from 430 in from the left and 447 down to 967 over and 809 down. And so that defines that rectangle. Lastly, I didn't do a rectangle here. I actually did a circle because you can do that. So I did a circle, and we'll see where the center of that circle is. So I put my cursor in the center of the circle, and if I look down here, it may be hard for you to see it, but all these files are in the Moodle site. I'm at 8 89 over from the left and 117 pixels down. So that's where I am there. And then right above that, at the top of the circle, I'm down 64. So 117 minus 64, the radius of the circle is the distance from that center point to the top of it. So 117 minus 64 is 113, is about 53, something like that. So let's look at our HTML code and see how we're going to codify all this and get ourselves something that does this thing where you click on these various sections that we mentioned. You click here, you click there, you click there, you click up there, and it takes you somewhere pertinent to those areas in the image. So let's look at our code. Our code here, and you know what I think we should do? We probably should make a habit of putting our file name in these things. So our file name is CSI 252-60 underscore image maps. I probably shouldn't have put the dash in there, but that's what the file's named. 001 under foods.html. And then we, okay, so we finished that off, and I'll make sure I save that. So we don't have anything in the head section, but in the body section, we have a title. Healthy Eating for Life is a header 1, and under that is an image, and the source of the image is a file called CSI 252-60 underscore plate with foods grouped under 968W by 810H.ping, and it has an alternate name, food plate, and it says use map # food plate. Down here we have a map named food plate, and it says map name food plate, and then we have these things area shape, and so our first area shape rectangle, and the coordinates are 0, 0 to 429, 809. So if we go look at this thing here, 429 got us over to this line, and 809 gets us to the bottom of the screen. So this rectangle, there's 0, 0, there's 429, 809. The fruits and veggie section rectangle is defined in this first line, and it has a alternate name, fruits and veggies, and it has an href, so it takes us off to some place at Harvard Harvard School of Medicine or Harvard School of Health website, and that relates to fruits and vegetables. We do the same thing for the rectangle that goes from 430 to and 0 down. So that would be, here we are, we made it over to 429. Our next section starts at pixel number 430 in from the left, and it goes down to 809 and 446. Now, this 809 is not the same as going to the bottom of the page. This is it's a first number, so it's 809 in from the left. It just happened to work out that way. So we go from 430 and 0, that's this upper left corner, to 809 over, and how far down? 446. All right. So we go down to 446 here, and that defines this rectangle, and that is the rectangle for the protein section. And you can see that the URL that you go to when you click on that is Harvard School of Health, Nutrition, Protein, which sources are best for your heart. We have one more rectangular shape. It goes from 430, 447 to the bottom right corner, which is 967 over from the left and 809 down. So we go from here, this is 430 and 447, down to 867 and 809. That's the whole grains section. And again, Harvard School of Health and staying healthy, whole grains associated with longevity, say Harvard researchers. The last one is a circle. And if you remember, the center of the circle was at 889 and 117. So we say we want an area shape equals circle. There's your 889 and 117. And remember, we calculated 53 as the radius, so we put 53 there. Alternate whole, oh, I don't know why it says alternate whole grains. Let's fix that. Alternate drink water. We'll fix that there. And it takes us to Medical News Today article on drinking water. And so let's go to our website. Whoops, we've got a problem. Of course, couldn't have something happen easily, could we? Something here got messed up a little bit, maybe. I think we're all good. Let's make sure we have this. I may have changed a file name a little bit. Source, okay. CSI 25260 plate pick 0. Oh, there it is. I changed the name. That's the one we want. So I changed the name of it in trying to make it more easier for everyone to understand. So I will do that. I will fix this right here and get the right file name in there. So we do that, we save it, and now we go up here. There's some stuff we did previously. And here we go. We want to bring up our file. And now you see healthy eating for life. There's our header one. If we click on over here in the veggies section, anywhere, like from about there down there, even if I click over here, you could see the blue rectangle outlined. And here we are in a Harvard Medical School article on fruits and vegetables for heart health. More is better, blah, blah, blah. Again, if I click right on it, I think you could see that happen. Let me do it one more time. If I click and hold down before I release, you can see the blue rectangle there. And then I go to that site. If I click over here, I go to that protein sources article. If I click down here somewhere, you see the blue rectangle, and I go to whole grains. And again, if I go up here now, if I click, that was in the protein area. If I click up here, nothing happens. If I click over here, nothing happens. But if I get up on this circle and I click here, you can see a blue circle appears there, the outline. And I let go. 15 benefits of drinking water. Fast facts on drinking water. So, there's a good example. Well, I'd like to think it's a good example of using an image map to send you to different websites. You could have a website where maybe it's to apply for jobs, or say it's a college website, and over here are pictures of nurses and medical assistants and pulmonary respiratory therapists and that sort of thing. Or whatever those jobs are, they could be areas of your picture that a person would click on, and it would take you to that portion of the website. It would be a page for respiratory therapists, or maybe there's stenography, or digital media has some kind of artwork or something that you can identify with that, and maybe even with labels. Maybe the image includes some labels to make it easy for people. But the point is, based on an area in the image, people can click, and it takes them to a pertinent website, whether it's in your set of websites or outside. It's up to you. The other thing that I would mention, in the example I saw, maybe it's here, yes. W3 Schools has a treatment on image maps, and here's one that they have, and they have actually taken an image, and here's a croissant, and instead of using rectangle or circle, they've used this one called poly. And if you maybe I should put this in the Moodle site also, just so you can get to it, or maybe I'll put the first one for image maps in there. Here's their example of image maps, and if I click here, you can see that's a PC, and it takes you to something that talks about computers. And if you click on there, a blue rectangle forms around the phone, and it takes you something about phones. And if you click on the coffee, it takes you to something related to coffee. So they explain how this works, and they explain the areas and the divvying up of the image based on the number of pixels. Here they, instead of showing a blue rectangle, they actually show the rectangle filled in with a light blue. And they do the same thing all the way down. And finally they get to this croissant here, and there's all sorts of food here, but this croissant right here, and they make a polygon, and they measure now for instance, in Microsoft Paint, which is pretty simple tool, when you move your cursor over pardon me, when you move your cursor over a picture down at the bottom of Microsoft Paint, in fact, why don't we do this? We'll save this image. And we will save it as it's called French food, but let's give them some credit here. French food, it's W3 schools _ image maps _ French food. And one of the things I'm going to do, I will put the URL into the image just to be a good boy. And so let's go over here to Windows, and I'll do it in Microsoft Paint. And we have a new file down here, Windows Image Maps FrenchFood.jpg. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to open with Paint, and I'm going to zoom in, and I'll slide down to the bottom. The first thing I'll do is I'll slide down to the bottom, and I'll take text, and I'll put this down here. I think our font is a little big, so maybe we'll have to use a 5-point font or something, and maybe we can spread it out a little bit and get it on one line. Maybe we can also use white. Whoops, I have to do it this way. I have to select it all and then make it white. I would really like to do that as white. There it is. And I think we'll have to go to 5 points. Maybe a 6 point. That'd be great. 6 would be better. Center that down at the bottom, and hopefully it's readable. There it is. So at least we're giving them credit. But now the whole point of doing this, and let me save this file with Control S. When I put my cursor in here, let me get rid of the text thing. Now I have this like an arrow or a cross here. When I put my cursor at this top point, I'm at 179, 118. Let's see what these guys said we were at, and maybe we can spread this in here. I said 179, 118. They were actually at 181, 116. But by specifying all these points, they could draw a polygon around this croissant, and so that when you clicked on it, let's see. So here's the croissant. It's got this blue thing around it, which they added. It's not part of the deal. But when we, let's see, where's their says try it yourself. So you can see that our cursor becomes a finger, index finger, when we're over the croissant, and when we click on it, it takes us to a place that says, Wikipedia says a croissant is a buttery, flaky Viennoise pastry of Austrian origin, named for its historical crescent shape. Read more about croissant. Okay, so there's an image map that took us to another page. So just wanted to show that you can, not only can you do rectangles and circles and things, but you can make arbitrary shapes. And if you're really careful with your coordinates, you could divvy up a map or a big image, like I said, for a college web page with kind of mixed images of all the different career people, and click on the person that represents the field you're interested in, and it could take you to that, to that part of the college and the programs associated with that. So that's pretty much it for image maps, and we'll probably have an exercise at some point for that, and we will see you soon. All right, bye.